Hello everyone, welcome to this new installment of the Wrestling Analyst. Today we're going to take a look at what happened at the Smackdown episode from October 28th, 2022 from the great city of St. Louis, Missouri. Now, show starts with a match right away. Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn versus the Brawling Brutes. Now, Brawling Brutes wants to avenge last week's attack on Sheamus that resulted in an injury, but he's not really injured there. The Bloodline are looking to continue their dominance on the tag team scene. Solo Sikoa, until now, has been built as a mid-card dominator. He has won pretty much every one of his matches up until now. So the match starts, and near the end of the match, Sami is playing possum in the corner as Butch is on the top rope. And then Jey Uso drags him out of the ring, and both start to argue outside the ring. At one point, Sami goes back. Holland rolls him up and gets the pin. After the match, all the Bloodline except Roman are in the ring, and things heat up between the Bloodline members. Just as Roman's music hits the PA system, and so Roman's music starts, and you go to the first segment after the commercial break, where Roman says he wants that problem fixed right now. So Roman basically says, you want to act like kids, well, I'm going to treat you like kids. And so Roman says he wants the problem to be fixed. Sami starts saying, well, I don't know what's happening. I like you. Jimmy likes me. Solo likes me. And I don't want to go on like this. I don't want things to go south again. And just basically ask Jey to bury the hatchet. Jey extends the hand to make a handshake with Jey, and Jey just basically says, "You have 2 seconds to get that out of my face." So he says that he hates his hair, hates his face, hates his shirt, and that no one in the Bloodline likes him, and he's just the only one honest enough to say it to his face. And the argument continues, and at one point Jey says, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief says. Now, right then and there, Roman is like, says, what? What did you just say? You know, you see him saying that to himself. And he turns around, goes towards Jey, slowly and deliberately, like, I'm just gonna waste you, man. And Sami again plays peacekeeper between Roman and Jey, and says that Jey didn't really mean to say that, and that he's not being himself lately, and he's just not been very oozy lately. And the crowd reaction to that was so good because they started chanting oozy, oozy, oozy. Roman gets it, and you see this segment was so hilarious because of that. You see Roman break up. You see Jimmy in the back, like it's like He's like that. So you know that he's smiling and you just don't want to show it. They don't even show Solo Sikoa because probably Solo is cracking up as well. And you see Jay is like, man, why am I laughing? I'm supposed to hate the guy. And he's just like, and you see him like this, and it's almost like you see him laughing in his hands there. It was so good. And Sammy is gold right now in this this gimmick and in this bloodline storyline. He's just so good right now. And Roman proceeds to say that if Jay doesn't figure out, just doesn't find his inner Uzi, Roman will do something that Jay won't like, and he goes like, I'll take the honorary out of the name and make him a full-blown Uce. And he even goes to say that he's going to change Sammy's name to Sammy Uso. And that was so hilarious. And it seemed like at this point they didn't know where to go from there. And Paul Heyman just took the ball and said, well, I think the Tribal Chief said just established that this segment is over. But until then, it was so hilarious. I was laughing like I was laughing so hard in my living room. Man, that's the best storyline going right now. It's hilarious. And can't wait for next Friday to see what's going to happen. Man, this is golden right now. Anyway, moving on. I already passed 7 minutes just on this first match and this Bloodline segment, but it's so freaking good. Match number 2, Maximum Male Models versus the New Day. Now, Maximum Male Models want to get back on the winning trail, and New Day wants to win the match and become challengers to the undisputed titles. Undisputed tag team titles, because New Day rocks. No, no, because New Day has the record for number of days as champions, and the Usos are getting close to that record, so they want to prevent them from breaking the record. So that means we're going to get yet another time New Day versus the Usos for the tag titles, and those matches are almost always very, very, very good. So we're in for a treat when those two teams face off once again. Now, New Day wins the match, and it was announced that I think it's next Friday. They're gonna face off. So, like I just said, this match is gonna be very good. I expect nothing less from both those teams. After that match, you see Sonya Deville getting interviewed in backstage, and says that Liv will not be the one to answer Ronda Rousey's open challenge because she just doesn't have it or whatever. And Liv runs in and attacks Deville again. Brawl ensues. A brawl between the two of them, and they get separated by official. Now, this segment was to further continue to push the hatred between Sonya Deville and Liv Morgan, and want to push the more extreme persona of Liv going forward. Now you have match number 3 of the night, Ronda Rousey's Open Challenge. And so Ronda is basically in the ring, and she berates the WWE Universe, saying that they mediocre and not recognizing talent and everything. So she goes and says, "Who's going to answer my challenge?" And big surprise, there were rumors saying that she would be at Smackdown, and the one that answered the challenge was Emma, which returns to WWE. Now, Ronda plays the arrogance card and dominates a great part of the match. Emma looked pretty good. Not the best Emma I've seen in the ring, but for a first match back with Ronda, that's not, even though she's pretty good, Ronda is not the best trained wrestler in the world, right? Ronda keeps her own. Like I said, she's very good for the time that she wasn't the wrestling business as well, because wrestling and MMA, even though there are some similarities, it's a whole different ballgame. And anyway, at the end, Rousey gouges the eyes of Emma behind referee's back and wins the match wins the match with Piper's Pit. Now, I've seen people on the internet saying that why having Emma returned and make her lose her first match to Ronda Rousey. Well, she didn't lose first. She didn't lose clean, because there was Rousey's eye gouge, and secondly, she lost to the women's champion. So, and like I said, she lost because Ronda took a shortcut. So she doesn't lose anything. On the contrary, she is gaining because Ronda had to use underhanded tactics to win the match. She couldn't She couldn't take care of Emma without using a dirty tactic to win the match. So Emma's credibility as a contender right away is up there. So maybe they want to build Emma, and so that people forget that that dancing Emma there. Never liked that gimmick. So if they get rid of that, and I think that's the point. That's the plan. All better. That's the best thing that can happen to Emma. Now, after the match, Rousey comes to is backstage with her belt, and she is met by Shayna Baszler. And both of them talk, and Natalya comes in and says that Rousey was lucky, and Shayna just takes a few steps back, goes behind Natalya, hits her, and then puts a kind of a sleeper down. Is it a form of the Kirifuda clutch? Maybe. And Natty goes to sleep, and then Ronda says that she missed that side of Shayna. Now, Shayna Baszler is a freaking beast in the ring. On the main roster, she wasn't built like that, and that is a freaking shame. Shayna Baszler had classic matches with Ember Moon, with Io Shirai. Uh, she, she is so sound technically, and she can put on great matches. It's a shame that she wasn't used uh, better than she was since her call up on the main roster. So I hope that Triple H turns that around and uses Shayna Baszler as good as she deserves. Anyway, we'll see what happens during the next few weeks of this storyline with Ronda and Shayna. Uh, we all know that Ronda, Shayna, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir, which I don't think are in WWE anymore. Well, I know for at least one of them that she's not there anymore. They were known as the Four Horsewomen of MMA. There was the Fourth Horsewomen of Wrestling: Flair, Becky Lynch, well, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. But there were the Four Horsewomen of MMA, and I really thought at one point we would see a clash between those two factions, but that never happened, and I find that's a shame. Anyway, match number 4, Legado del Fantasma versus Hit Row. Now, when I heard it would be a 6-man tag, I was expecting the debut of Carmelo Hayes, because a lot of rumors were saying that Carmelo would be joining Hit Row. So I was about 90% certain that the third man of Hit Row would be Carmelo Hayes for this match, and I was wrong. Legado said they will start with their legacy by taking out Hit Row, and Hit Row wants to go back on the winning path on that match. Now B-Fab, during the entrance, she introduces their tag team partner, and to my surprise, it was Shinsuke Nakamura's music. Nice surprise, because I love Shinsuke. And match goes on. That match was to basically give a babyface win to Hit Row, and without taking anything away from Legado del Fantasma, because it's Nakamura that took the pin, that had the winning pin on I think it was on Santos Escobar with the Kinshasa. So that's just continues the storyline between Legado del Fantasma and Hit Row, and you see a little bit why in this match Zelina Vega took the spot as the girl with Legado del Fantasma, because you see that she's going to be fighting B-Fab down the line somewhere during that storyline. Small segment in the back with the Bloodline again. Well, not Bloodline, but Roman and Heyman showing a video of Logan Paul, and it says that that's just to further the storyline before Crown Jewel, that Logan Paul could be dangerous to the tribal chief. And Heyman talks that Logan Paul had some metal pins in his hand and that's why he can knock out somebody with just one punch. Now, is it true? I don't know. I doubt it. Uh, and Heyman is so worried about that match that he gets on Roman's nerves. Roman seems to underestimate Logan Paul. He's just saying he had 2 matches. I've been champion for 2 years, and blah blah blah. And it's like Roman is really underestimating Logan Paul right now in this match for next Saturday's match. And like I said, Paul Heyman gets on Roman's nerves, and he just said, and then just leaves, and because he sees that, and so classic Paul Heyman there. Little segment with LA Knight. He's interrupted by Ricochet, but nothing really happens there. Maybe a future feud between the two of them. We'll see how it goes. Match number 5. Karrion Kross versus Madcap Moss. Now, Madcap has been away from the ring for a while. Probably was wrestling on Main Event or something, but we haven't seen him in a match on Smackdown for a while. And so Madcap would like just to keep his winning ways, because the last few times we saw him, he was winning. And Kross basically wants to continue his domination in the ring, and sell that he's a threat, a big threat to McIntyre as a number 1 contender, as a contender for the title. Now Madcap has the upper hand to start, and at the end he gets distracted by Scarlett. Kross puts on his finishing maneuver with that forearm to the back, wins the match, and then he proceeds to put on the cross jacket on Madcap Moss and talks to McIntyre while he has the hold, and he just keeps the hold on. He keeps the cross jacket on until Scarlett basically tells him to release it. The referees are trying to pull his arms, and so that's just to further that Karrion Kross is ready to do anything to anybody to get his way. Now, I like the Karrion Kross persona, but only thing that bothers me right there is that he's not as dominating as he was in NXT. Especially against a guy like Madcap Moss. But maybe they don't want to build him as a big monster yet. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I really thought they would have made Karrion Kross a beast. Somebody that gets in the ring and he's just wasting everybody. But if that's not what they're doing, we'll see how it goes. But it wasn't the best Karrion Kross performance I've seen in the ring from his NXT days to that right now. So, well, we'll see how it goes. And looking forward to that match, that cage match at Crown Jewel against Drew. Final 2 segments. Rey Mysterio was interviewed, gets attacked by Imperium. And then to end the show, it was Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt in the ring. Just the only thing in there was that to introduce the Uncle Howdy Captain Howdy is a Twisted Sister song. That Uncle Howdy persona. So we got introduced to Uncle Howdy, and that's just to further Bray Wyatt's mystery. And Uncle Howdy says that Bray won't be able to hide from him. So again, a lot of mystery around Bray. A lot of what the hell is going on in there. And that's just, right now, that's the most interesting. This and the Bloodline storyline with Sammy, those are the two main things going on. One is very mysterious, and one is so freaking funny that... Anyway, I talked about it already enough. And so for Bray, it was a good segment, and it just continues to raise mystery and to raise interest in the storyline, like only Bray Wyatt can do it. So that's it for my analysis right now. We'll have Raw on Monday. Then, so I'll be doing a video maybe Tuesday, and then I'll do my predictions video for Crown Jewel. So hope to see you then. If you like this, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you next week when I analyze the Raw episode from November 1st. Have a nice day, everyone.